world is a stage. Shakespeare said that over 4 centuries ago. His words then were true, and they're really true now. If you have something to say, share, or sell, then you are on a stage. But you're not the only one on the stage. The stage is very crowded, and unless the spotlight is on you, and unless there's an audience, you're not going to be able to share what you want to share. Tonight I want to talk to you about a book called Platform, Get Noticed in a Noisy World. It's by Michael Hyatt. I'm going to share with you about the book. I'm going to tell you about the author. Then I'm going to share with you a review that I thought was interesting from Amazon.com. We live in a noisy world. Last year, over 1 million books were published. If you go on Amazon.com, you'll find that over 27 million books are for sale. There's countless television shows and radio shows, over 186 million blogs on the internet. In the last 60 days, more videos were uploaded to YouTube than were produced by the major 3 networks in the last 60 years. Now, we're not even talking about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, apps on your phone, or video games. We live in a very noisy world. How are you and I going to get our message out? How are we going to share that? We need a platform. What is a platform? Platform is something that you stand on so that you can be heard. Many years ago, people would actually stand on a hill and speak to a crowd. Some of you have heard the phrase, why don't you get down from your soapbox? Well, people say that because some would stand on a soapbox to be heard. In the 20th century, the platform migrated to television, to radio, to newspaper columns, magazine columns, celebrity status. But what happens if you and I don't have any of those things? How are we supposed to get our message out there? The author, Michael Hyatt, gives 5 directives in this book on how to create your own platform. The first is to create a wow factor. You need a product or an idea that is wow, something that others are going to want to share with their friends. Think about it. If you go to a movie on Friday night, you see the movie and you didn't think the movie was very good, then you tell your friends, and then you Facebook message people and you tweet about it. Next thing you know, word of mouth gets out there, and by Sunday, that movie has died in the box office. So, marketing's not enough. You need a good product. You need something that's wow. Number 2, you need to prepare to launch. What he's saying there is that you need to accept responsibility for your success. No one's going to hand you success. You are the chief marketing officer. You are the spokesperson for your brand. Number 3, you need a home base. He suggests a website, a blog, or a podcast, somewhere where people can find you and know more about what you're doing. Number 4, expand your reach. He goes into extensive detail about social media, specifically Twitter. He also talks about how to use giveaways to generate traffic. You also want to engage your audience. Consumers do not want to be spammed, and they don't like to be interrupted. You need to create a dialogue, a conversation with the people that you're trying to reach. Michael Hyatt is the chairman of Thomas Nelson Publishing. Thomas Nelson is one of the largest trade book publishing companies in the United States. In 2004, he started a blog. In 2008, he started using social media to drive traffic to that blog. Over 8 years of working hard and following these directives that he outlines in the book, he's been able to grow his platform to, he has 300,000 unique monthly visitors to his blog, 123,000 Twitter followers, 92,000 plus monthly podcast listeners, 70,000 plus newsletter subscribers, and 17,000 plus Facebook fans. Pretty impressive. He's suggesting that you and I can do this too. He's not saying that's going to happen overnight. It took him 8 years to get to that point. But he's encouraging us to start now. I think the book's great. but I wanted to get a good review. I looked on Amazon.com and I found that there's 144 reviews as of today. 128 of those are 5-star reviews. I wanted to get a mix. People like the organization of the book. They like how it's laid out. They like how he goes into specific detail about various softwares that he uses to accomplish his directives. Some of the criticism of the book is that he spends a fifth of the book just saying you need to have a good product. Another critical remark was that he is an author and he's talking from a writer's perspective. If I'm not a writer, how can I use these directives to accomplish the goals that I want to reach? I think that's a good point. I would suggest take the directives and study someone that's already successful in your niche and compare and see what you need to tweak accordingly. The world is a stage. You and I are on that stage, and we live in a very noisy world. In order to get noticed, we need a platform. I have one copy of this book. I'm going to give this away to someone tonight, whoever wants to take their product, their service, their cause to the next level. I'll be happy to give you the book. There you go. What would a platform do for you? Mr. Master of Ceremonies.